Hey everybody, Mortgage Seth here, coming to you from my office in downtown Tracy. Are you thinking about moving to the Central Valley, specifically Mountain House? I wanted to talk to you about the community of Mountain House and what makes it a great place to live and some of the things to keep in mind if you're thinking about moving here. I moved here about 6 years ago and consider myself a local expert on things that are going on in the town and what you might want to think about if you're considering moving to Mountain House. So Mountain House is a master plan community. It was started back in 2004, and currently there are 6 different villages that exist in Mountain House. Mountain House has a village concept where in the middle of each village there is a school and a park. And the idea is that the houses are built around from each one of those schools and parks to about 1,000 houses per village. So the first village was Wickland, second village was Bethany, then there was Altamont and Cuesta, and now we have some other new villages. There's Hanson and there's Cordes and College Park. And they're adding on villages at a pretty rapid pace. But right now, the main area of development is between Highway 205 and the Byron Highway. And on the east and west sections, it's Mountain House Parkway and Great Valley Parkway. So it's really set up like a grid. And if you look at the map of it on Google Maps, or you take a look at the structure of the town, you can really see how each park is in the middle of each village, because the idea is that for each village where the school is located in the middle, all of the families can walk to the school. It's all walking distance. And I'll talk about the schools a little bit more in another video and how they're set up. But the basic idea is that they're all K-8. Some even have a preschool associated with them now, and they all feed into one main high school. So there's no middle schools in Mountain House. It's all K-8 schools, one per village, and they all feed into Mountain House High School. So the setup of the community parks, there's one in each village that's associated with the elementary school. And then there's also a community central park, which has been kind of the hub of the action for community events. There's baseball fields, a cricket field. There's some other wide open spaces that they use for community concerts and other events. And that's really the main gathering place for that's set up for the whole town. There'll be a dog park there. They're building an amphitheater, an aquatic center. Right now there's a splash pad for the kids with some water features. And that central community park is also where the town hall and the library are located, and there's a farmer's market there every Sunday. So a lot of things going on in Mountain House. One of the great things that I like about it is number one, the walkability, the fact that all the neighborhoods, there's a real sense of community within each village in Altamont and also within the town of within each village. I said Altamont because that's the village that I live in, but each village is part of the bigger community of Mountain House, and everyone is in one of those villages and can identify with those locations and the homes that are in there, and especially the schools that are located in the middle. Now, the next phase of development, if you come into Mountain House, you'll see that most of the development is happening right now on the southern end, and that's really being built up between Highway 205 and Grant Line Road. That's called the College Park community. And the reason it's called that is because the junior college, Delta College, is building out a campus there. It's a satellite campus from their main campus in Stockton, but they're building out a full junior college campus in that village. And actually College Park is more of a double village, has more homes in it than the typical village in Mountain House. And there'll be an elementary school there and parks, and it'll be all connected to the junior colleges that gets built out. So that's the construction that you can see from Highway 205. And that College Park area is being built up to the Grant Line Road area. Now, there's other construction going on in Mountain House right now too. In Altamont Village, they're building a whole new tract of homes near the Central Park and the Mountain House Creekway. And then once those areas are developed and those plans are underway, then the developers have already started breaking ground and moving towards the Delta and the waterway at Old River. They'll be building more homes up there, and at least 3 more villages. They look like larger villages on the map right now, but I suspect they'll be splitting those up into more of the typical size villages in Mountain House, where there's one school and park in the middle and about 1,000 houses out from each one of those schools. Now, the other thing that people always ask about is the commercial development and what happened and what the delays were. So when Mountain House was first started, there was always the plan to put in some commercial development, a grocery store, strip mall, shopping center, those kinds of things. But what happened with the downturn and the crash that happened in 2008 and 9, all the building was stopped. And one of the key pieces of the master plan was that there needed to be about 5,500 homes before the next phase of the commercial development could happen. And that's what we hit about a year and a half, 2 years ago. So there's over 5,000 houses now and growing rapidly. But the commercial area that's being built out, you can see some light industrial buildings that have been completed over on the Mountain House Parkway side in the Wickland Village. But the main commercial center that everybody was waiting for with the anchor grocery store, it was announced that it's Safeway that's coming in. That should be ready to open in the summer of 2022. And there's some major construction going on there right now. And you can see the grocery store footprint and the building that's there. And it's making a lot of quick progress in the other strip mall area around there with some restaurants and gas stations and those kinds of things. So there's some pockets of other commercial development. There's one in Hanson Village that has a pizza place, jujitsu, and some other small businesses that are there. That's located right next to the high school. So a great place for a pizza place to be located, I think. And there's some other areas of smaller commercial development that's happening over by the high school. There's an aquatic center, a preschool, medical center. So lots of things happening in Mountain House, really making it a great place to live for those people who have lived there. Like me, for the last few years, we've seen a lot of development. People who have lived there longer, 10 years plus, have been waiting a long time for some of these developments to happen. So it's a great place to live. I'd love to share more about it with you. If you'd like more information, feel free to hit me up on social media. Everything is under Mortgage Seth. You can also find me at mortgageseth.com. I'd be happy to share with you any questions that you have about Mountain House. I can try to find the answers for you. You know, the cost of living, what the housing market's doing, typical housing prices, more information about the schools, the taxes, the utilities, all these different things that you might be considering as you're looking at Mountain House as a great place to move with your family and all the great things that it has to offer. So again, Mortgage Seth here with Mason McDuffie Mortgage. My office is in downtown Tracy. I live in Mountain House, so I cover all the local areas, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. Just let me know how I can help. Thank you.